When your child is having a tantrum, a meltdown, an outburst, it's so hard to remain calm. Yet, it is top priority. Of course, safety first. But what if I told you that while your child is having a meltdown, your first goal is actually to stay in control of your own emotions, to stay calm yourself, so that you can be there to guide your child the way you need to, the way they need you to. Here's what I mean. Learn to understand your triggers. Take charge. This is my role. I am the parent. Encourage yourself. My child needs me to be the leader, their mentor. Use tools that help you stay calm. Trust yourself. I can do this. I got this.
Spell and like. Subscribe. Hit the bell and like.
Ask your child, who tells me to brush my teeth, make my bed, put my dishes in the sink? Your child may say, you tell yourself, you're a grown-up. Yeah, but you know what? You can do the same. And anything you tell yourself to do, I don't have to. And that feels so much better for both of us. Responsibility is learned slowly and steadily through example, maturity, and practice. When your little one says, go away, they're testing their power to see if they can control you or the situation. It's important you don't let them. Try this. Can't tell me to go away. You can say, I want to be by myself. If I can, I will leave. If I can't, then you leave. If that's what you want. You are the parent. You're always respectful of your child's emotions, even when you can't grant them. Your child isn't listening, you're getting frustrated, about to lose it. Pause and ask yourself, why am I angry? If you really look inward, the answer is, things are not working my way. I'm not getting what I want. Your emotions, they're yours. It's up to you to manage them, not your child. So take a deep breath, acknowledge how you feel. Once you take ownership of your own emotions, you can continue in a more calm and rational way.
Spell and like. Subscribe. Hit the bell and like.
You pick up your child from school and excitedly ask, how was school today? But you get, I don't know, I forgot. Fine. Of course you want to hear they had a great day, but your child just ended a long day full of effort, and that question is too big, too general for them to respond to. So ask specific ones. During snack time, who did you sit next to? Did your teacher say something funny? Was anyone in class upset today? Help your child break down their big experience in a more detailed and balanced way. Do your kids say, I wish a lot? I wish we could go to the park. I wish I was better at basketball. I wish I could get a new game. Wishing is a wonderful thing, but can wishing ever be overused? Here's what I mean. Wishing is hopeful and magical, which is great, but it's also the desire to get something you want without putting in any effort. So remind your child that in addition to wishing for something, they can also do. They can take action, come up with a plan, work towards their goal. You wish you were better at basketball. It's great to wish. It's also great to do. What do you think you can do in real life to get better at playing basketball? Yeah, you can practice and keep on trying. Your child tells you, you're mean. Oh, I know it's hard, but try not to take it personally or get caught up in a lecture or a power struggle. Instead, try this. No, I'm not mean. Maybe you mean I am being serious right now and you don't like that. You can tell me that and I'll say, you're right. I am being a serious parent right now. And that's okay.
Spell and like. Subscribe. Hit the bell and like.
Let's talk about handling pushback from your child. You ask your child to do something, clean up, put shoes on, get ready, and they don't do it. They avoid, ignore, maybe say, I'm tired, why? No, I don't want to. Ooh, take a deep breath and try this approach. I call it I get it. Still have to. I get that you don't want to. Yeah, we still have to. Sometimes we do something even when we don't want to. Notice how you're not getting caught up in the bargaining, negotiating, threatening, lecturing. You're keeping it simple and very clear. You're validating while holding firm to your boundaries. I hear you. You don't feel like it right now. I really do get it. And yes, we still have to. So let's go. You can do it. Your child challenges you with requests. More screen time, a new toy. Do you say yes to avoid the drama, but really feel resentful? Next time, don't immediately respond. Instead, pause. Interesting. I'm going to take a moment to think about that. Give yourself the time to think it through. If it's yes, say it wholeheartedly. If no, that's okay too. Even if there's a battle, you're ready because you trust your decision. You pick up your child from school and excitedly ask, how was school today? But you get, I don't know, I forgot. Fine. Of course you want to hear they had a great day, but your child just ended a long day full of effort, and that question is too big, too general for them to respond to. So ask specific ones. During snack time, who did you sit next to? Did your teacher say something funny? Was anyone in class upset today? Help your child break down their big experience in a more detailed and balanced way.
Still and late. Why? Subscribe if hit the bell and like.
Has your child ever said, it's my body and you can't tell me what to do? Oh yeah, and you were stumped, confused. On one hand, you want to foster a healthy body autonomy, but on the other hand, you're the parent, and you actually can tell your child what to do. And it is about their body, like washing hands, shower, sleep, eating. So, respond this way. You are right. It is your body. My job is to take care of you and your body. And one day, you will be in charge of taking good care of yourself all on your own. Until then, I am here to help you. And right now, that means it's shower time. When you make a decision that your child doesn't agree with, you don't have to explain, reason, bargain, sell your child on it. Try this instead. Some things are a parent's decision. Some things are a child's decision. This, right now, is my decision. How you feel about it is your decision. You want your child to feel good about themselves. Be confident, of course. When you praise your child, remember these two things. Be specific. You know how yesterday you got yourself water and then you got water for your sister? That was so kind of you. And two, include your child in the praise. I'm really proud of you for that. Are you proud of you? Lasting confidence is internal, and your goal is for your child to feel good about themselves from within.
Still and late. Why? Subscribe if hit the bell and like.
In parenting, when things don't go well, and that can be daily, do you feel like it's your fault? I know, it's hard to not fall into this trap. The guilt takes over. Often because the expectations are so high, it feels like you're responsible for everything about your child. If you feel stuck in this mindset, think about these two things. Your goal is not to make your child the best. Your goal is to help your child make the best of who they naturally are. You want your child to thrive, absolutely. But remember, thriving is unique to the individual. Also, a huge part of your child thriving is about their journey of getting there. And that journey includes failure, stumbles, hardships. Those are important moments too, not just to feel guilty about, but to accept and find encouragement in, even hope for you and your child. Your child is challenging. You have a challenging child. Parenting is challenging. You can actually say that out loud from time to time. Wow, you are challenging. This is a challenge, but I got this. You're not labeling or judgmental. Notice the intonation. It's respectful, kind, because your goal is not to hurt your child, but to model strength, resilience, responsibility. Does your child shut down when you try to talk to them? You're validating, asking questions, and it seems to just make things worse. Your child becomes even more dysregulated. Yes, I know many of you can relate to this. Here are a couple of ideas. 1. Conversations do not need to be sit down, face each other, make eye contact talks. That can be intimidating, even angering to a child. Talk during an activity, a walk, playing a game, cooking, a car ride. This takes the pressure off. And 2, there doesn't need to always be a conclusion. Break your talk into pieces. Your goal is to slowly build a sense of safety, talking about difficult topics, not always find the solution in every conversation.
Still and light. Subscribe if hit the bell and like.
I want you to reframe some of the most common parenting statements that you say out of frustration. How many times do I have to tell you? Pause. Breathe as many times as it takes. If I have to say it one more time, pause. Breathe. Then I will. Reframing your point of view creates the mental space you need to be the patient parent you want to be. Does this sound like your child? You never let me. You always say no. When of course the reality is more balanced than that. Yes, children are extreme and all or nothing. They live fully in the moment, and what they feel in that moment is all moments to them. Let me ask you another question. Do you then find yourself caught in the back and forth of trying to explain, convince? What do you mean I never? But I just let you yesterday. Don't you remember? Yeah. Next time, try this. Yes, I know it feels like I never let you. It's more like sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But right now, you're right. I'm not letting you, and that doesn't feel good. We all want our children to say sorry. Or actually, what we want is for our children to feel genuine remorse when they do something wrong. Parents, there's nothing wrong with that goal. If your child hits a sibling and you tell him, say sorry to your brother, the only thing you're doing is asking your child to repeat a word. And yes, they can and most likely will. But does that word by itself have a meaning? Next time you want your child to apologize, suggest exactly that. You can say to your child, would you like to apologize? And then explain. We apologize when we feel bad about something and we say the word sorry, which makes us and the other person feel better. Would you like to try? What you're doing is helping your child understand a concept and intention, first by giving the word sorry a meaning, and then by giving your child the opportunity to express remorse by choice, not by force.
Still and like. Subscribe if hit the bell and like.
I want to talk about a modern-day parenting dilemma. The more you know, the more emotionally involved you are with your child, the more you might be over-accommodating. Your child struggles, you validate, empathize. It's great. But then, do you keep on going? Explaining, advising, reasoning, convincing, suggesting. While you want to take your child's pain away from them, you really can't. Your child needs to grow their own mental muscles. You can't lift the weight for them and expect their muscles to gain strength. Help your child through difficulties, not by taking the difficulty away, but by being there to witness their struggling, and then coaching them to find strength from within, to problem solve, to think through, and to cope, giving them the space to practice and trust the natural skills they have. What if instead of go to your room and think about what you just did, which is really shaming, you say, whoa, what just happened? Not okay at all. We both need to think about it. So we're going to take a break from each other. Then when we come back together, I will tell you what I thought of what happened, and you tell me what you thought. And together we will decide what to do better next time. You're introducing your little one to a new family or friends, maybe someone they haven't seen in a while. They're saying hi, and what happens? They're hiding behind you, clinging to you, refusing to talk, maybe even getting upset. Yes, we've all been there. Here's a tip. It's totally okay for your child to need some time to warm up to a new situation, so no need to force them to do anything they don't want to or apologize for their behavior. They're not doing anything wrong. Instead of putting all the focus on the person, put the focus on an object and use that object to build a connection. How about you show Grandma how your shoes light up? I think she'll like that. Want to get your truck and show how it works? I bet they would love to see it. Take your time. Take the pressure off for everyone and build comfort and familiarity one step at a time.
Bill and like. Subscribe if hit the bell and like.
Want your child to apologize? What you really want is for your child to feel authentic remorse. So maybe instead of say sorry to your brother, try this. Would you like to apologize? We apologize when we feel bad about something and we use the word sorry. It can sometimes make you and the other person feel better. Want to try? You're giving the word sorry a meaning and the opportunity to say it by choice, not by force. Are you the punching bag parent? Meaning, are you the parent that gets the big meltdowns, the back talk, the pushing boundaries? Feels like your kids fall apart mostly around you? Two things I want you to think about. One, safety and trust. It could be that your kids feel safe to fully express themselves with you. They're holding themselves together at school, with the nanny, even with their other parent. And then, around you, they feel safe to just let it all out. Two, the dynamic. Are you more easily triggered? Do they get under your skin more? Are you giving them big reactions? You may be stuck in a dynamic where they push and you react and the cycle repeats itself. Awareness is the key to growth and change. Understanding the reasons behind your child's behaviors and your behaviors is how you work through them. Does this sound familiar? If you don't brush your teeth right now, then no iPad. When you use objects as a condition to get compliance from your child, what you're really saying is that the object has more authority than you do. Yeah. Try this instead. If you cannot do this on your own, I will help you. That's what I'm here for. Focus on connecting, not conditioning.
Bill and like. Subscribe if hit the bell and like.
Your child is about to try something new, a new class, a new hobby, and they're hesitant or resistant. Instead of trying to convince them of how much fun they will have, focus on building a sense of safety and security. We can only have fun once we feel safe. So instead of, you'll love it, you'll have so much fun, try, this is what we're doing. I can see right now you don't want to. It's new. You're not sure. I know it's going to be okay. You are going to be safe. I hope you will also have fun, but you'll decide that when you're ready, because having fun is totally up to you. Do you tell your child you're disappointed in them in order to change their behavior? Shame and guilt can motivate behavior change, but here's the thing. It's the naturally occurring internal feelings of shame and guilt that your child feels on their own that can change their behavior, not the external shame and guilt imposed by you onto them. That leads to anger, resentment, even revenge. So instead of, I am disappointed in you, try this. What just happened? Not okay. I think you also know that. Raise your child's awareness so they can learn to recognize their own actions and difficult feelings, not by making them feel worse about it. Do you tell your child you're disappointed in them in order to change their behavior? Shame and guilt can motivate behavior change, but here's the thing. It's the naturally occurring internal feelings of shame and guilt that your child feels on their own that can change their behavior, not the external shame and guilt imposed by you onto them. That leads to anger, resentment, even revenge. So instead of, I am disappointed in you, try this. What just happened? Not okay. I think you also know that. Raise your child's awareness so they can learn to recognize their own actions and difficult feelings, not by making them feel worse about it.
Spell and like. Subscribe if hit the bell and like.
Gentle parenting does not mean you accept any and all behaviors from your child. You set boundaries to how your child expresses themselves, not to what they're expressing. How they feel is how they feel. That's not for you to judge or try to change. How they express their feelings is where you come in to guide them. Just because your child feels big emotions does not mean they can act them out any way they want. They can feel very angry, cannot hit you when they're angry. They can feel disappointed, not yell, "I hate you, you're the worst," just to hurt you because they're disappointed. Help them express their emotions, not by inflicting the pain they're feeling on you, but by using direct communication. You don't hit me when you're angry. You say, "I am angry." You don't scream, "I hate you" at me. When you're disappointed, you tell me, "I'm disappointed." Children express their anxiety by asking a lot of what ifs. What if you're late to pick me up? What if no one likes me? What if I'm scared? What if I miss you? Help your child cope with the unknown, not by trying to assure them or convince them that what they're anxious about won't happen, but by guiding them to use their internal skills to know what to do in case any of this happens. So, hear the worst case scenario, nod, validate. Yes, that might be scary, difficult. What do you think you can do about it? How do you think you can help yourself? What can you do if that happens? It's not about dismissing what your child fears. It's about showing them they actually do have the answers within them to manage even those worst case scenarios. Resilience and coping skills are mental muscles built from within. Be sure your child gets a daily workout of that. Help your child strengthen their self-esteem by teaching them how to problem solve. The more you fix problems for them, the more your message to them may be that they can't. Start with empathy. I hear you. This is a problem. Must be tough. Broaden their perspective by gathering more information. Tell me more about what happened. Any idea why? Has this happened before to you, to someone you know? Model the process of problem solving. It takes time, brainstorming, thinking, so no rushing to get to a solution. So tell me, what would you like to do about this? Do you have any ideas? I bet you can think of some. I know you can fix problems, and of course, we can also think together.
Spell and like. Subscribe if hit the bell and like.
As the end of the school year approaches, your child faces a transition. Whether it's a move to just a new class or a whole new school, transition and change bring up conflicting emotions, excitement, yet fear of the unknown. We tend to focus on excitement. You're getting so big, going to big kids class, and maybe leave out that for our kids, this is a goodbye and a loss of what's familiar. Talk to your child about transition this way. Some things change, and that might be scary. Different teacher, different class, some new kids, and some things stay the same. I'll still drop you off. You'll still have a classroom. Learn, play on the yard. When something changes, it can feel as if everything changes, but really, only some things do. Help your child gain this balanced and grounded perspective. Do you find yourself explaining something to your child over and over again, especially typical day-to-day tasks, and yet they still push back and don't seem to get it? Maybe every night you ask them to brush their teeth and they whine, fight, complain, ask why. So you explain why, as if they forgot the information. It's healthy, the dentist said you'll get cavities. Do you know your child is not pushing back because they don't understand or remember the facts? You know their memory is good. They push back because they disagree with the doing of it or with you telling them to do it. Don't focus on explaining yet again what they already know. Instead, tap into their intelligence, including them in the power of decision making. You know what we need to do now. You even know why. I know you don't want to. You still have to, and I bet you can explain why even better than me. What if instead of go to your room and think about what you just did, which lacks guidance and is really shaming, you try, whoa, what just happened? Not okay at all. We're going to take a break from each other to cool off, to think about what happened. Then we will talk about it. You tell me your thoughts about what happened. I will share mine. Together, we can come up with a better way to handle this next time.
Bell and light. Subscribe if hit the bell and light.
Your child has picked up a bad word, and I imagine the more you ask them to stop, the more they use it. Bingo. They're testing their limits with you and testing their power. Bad words and party language are exactly that, powerful to your child. And the bigger the reaction they get, the more powerful these words are. Don't focus on the words, but on the need for power and on healthier ways for them to feel it. Yes, you have learned some new words and they make you feel strong, powerful. It's good to feel that, just not this way. Cannot say these words around people, but anytime you feel like you need to use them, run to your room, bathroom, outside. Say them there as much as you want, then come back. And if you still need to feel strong and powerful, we can think of other ways to do that without using these words. Talking to your kids about difficult topics, what we see in the news, what we hear around us, I know how scary it can all be. Here are some ideas. Feeling sadness together is appropriate, and you can let your child know that. This is very sad, and yes, very scary too, for us, for many, many people. It's okay if you don't have all the answers. Just be authentic. I can't fully explain to you why this happened. All I can do is tell you that I hope, and many people hope, that this never happens again. You can hope that too. If it feels appropriate, involve your child in any action you're taking. It can be helpful and healing. I'm going to call, email. You can sit with me and help me to do that if you want.
Bell and light. Subscribe if hit the bell and light.
Does your child cling to you at parties, gatherings, new places? Many children, adults too, need to first take in and process the social scene around them before they feel comfortable to join. So if you know your child has a tendency to be slow to warm, try this. Let's sit here for a while and just look at everything. I can see someone going down the slide. Can you? I hear someone crying. Do you hear that too? What else do you hear? Children are sensory, so use their senses to break down what might originally feel overwhelming into more manageable pieces. And then, as you feel your child begin to calm, you can say, when you're feeling ready, you can decide what you want to do.
Bell and light. Subscribe if hit the bell and light.
Help your child understand the concept of unconditional love. You know how I tell you I love you even when I'm upset? It means to love someone even when they make mistakes, or love them even when we don't get along. We all make mistakes sometimes, and we don't always get along, right? We disagree with one another, or we think the other one is hurting us. Right then, it doesn't feel good. And then love comes back. Actually, love is always there. Sometimes it's hiding a bit, and sometimes it's so big it's taking up the entire room, the entire world. So you might not always feel it the same way, but I always love you.
Bell and light. Subscribe if hit the bell and light.
The biggest misconception about gentle parenting is that hearing your child and validating their feelings means your child can act out their feelings however they want. When your child is out of control because of how they feel, they are in fact controlling you. Hearing all of your child's wants and needs does not mean you grant all their wants and needs. Understanding your child's point of view does not mean you accommodate their point of view. It just means you hear it. Validation and empathy do not come at the expense of setting boundaries. Validation and boundaries go hand in hand. I know it's hard to hear. No, you can be upset, talk about it, cannot act out this way just because you're upset.
Well, I'm late. That's right. She's the well and late.
Is it okay to apologize to your child? Yes, of course. But here's the thing. When you apologize, avoid the urge to blame. I'm sorry, but if you would just listen, I wouldn't have to yell like that. Yeah, that is blame and deflection. Instead, apologize, modeling full ownership and accountability. I'm sorry I yelled before. I had some really strong emotions. I'm also learning how to take deep breaths, calm myself down, trust all is well when I'm feeling that way. Still, my emotions are mine and up to me to manage.
Well, I'm late. That's right. She's the well and late.
Here are 3 things I want you to know about yelling. 1. Yelling is more about you than your child. Take a breath, hear me out. Of course, you're impacted by your child's behavior, and yes, you are triggered. Still, you own your behavior. It's ultimately up to you to decide how you respond to your child. 2. It's not the yelling that gets your child to finally listen. It's that your child has learned that when you yell is when you mean business. Until then, they're just buying time. 3. And when you do yell, it's not the end of the world. Losing your cool is human. Your relationship with your child is made up of many opportunities. Use these moments to repair, to model accountability, and to reconnect.
Well, I'm late. That's right. She's the well and late.
Let your child struggle. Of course, you protect them from harm, but your goal is not to shield your child from challenges. Your goal is to help them face and be equipped to handle, manage, and get through them. So shift your mindset. Struggles are training sessions for your child's mental, emotional, even social capabilities. Difficulties your child faces are teachable moments to help them cope and build resilience. You don't take hardship away from your child. You walk alongside them, supporting them while they're struggling, so they're not in it alone. Yet, they're still walking their own path.
Well, I'm late. That's right. She's the well and late.
Your child is upset. Now they're yelling, "I'm going to kill you." Whoa. Has this ever happened to you? So, your child is expressing their big, overwhelming emotions with extreme language. It is typical, yet not healthy, and requires your guidance. Your goal is to help your child express their emotions directly, not aggressively. So, stay calm, control your own self, and be firm. No, you are not going to kill me or anyone. But I can tell you're very upset, and you can tell me that. I am angry, and I will say I know. It's okay to be angry, even with me. It's not the existence of anger that's the issue. It's how the anger is expressed. That's the guidance your child needs from you.
Well, I'm late. That's right. She's the well and late.
Ever heard the phrase connect before you correct? Here's what it means. Before you say or no, first connect to your child's point of view. Your child wants to play outside. Instead of the immediate no, try. Oh, you love playing outside. It's so fun. What's the best part about it? We are not going outside now, but we will another time for sure. Your child is teasing their sibling. Tough, still. Instead of, why are you doing that? Don't do that. Say, teasing is fun for you. Makes you feel bigger, better. That's not the way to feel good, by making someone else feel bad. Let's think of other ways you can feel good about yourself. Working to first understand anyone's point of view leads to a stronger connection. And when we are connected, we listen better and are more motivated to cooperate.
Share and like. Subscribe if hit the bell and like.
Is your child a master negotiator? Do you engage with every negotiation, bargain, reason, trying to get them to agree with you? Kids today are expressive, not intimidated to share their thoughts and feelings with their parents, all of which is great, but of course makes parenting challenging. Hearing your child does not mean engaging in endless convincing. Hearing them is providing a listening ear, present to their thoughts, respectful of their feelings, and that's it. When your no is a no, it's okay. Your child is free to feel their feelings. You support by validating. I know you are disappointed, frustrated. I get that. Kids need emotional support much more than they need getting what they want. In fact, that's what we all want, to feel understood, not to have everything.
Share and like. Subscribe if hit the bell and like.
What's the difference between an incentive and a bribe? Bribing is dangling a shiny prize in front of your child, making that prize the main reason for completing a task or attaining a goal. Here's the catch. We become so focused on the prize at the end that we miss the journey of getting there. And when we get the prize, then what? What did we actually learn? If you want to use an external object to help incentivize your child, it's okay. We all need that sometimes. But try and focus on the process. I know you really want more screen time. You love your show. First, we need to get this room cleaned up. While we're cleaning, you can think about what you're going to watch and how good that's going to feel. You know what else? You can also think of how being responsible, taking care of your things, also feels good.
Share and like. Subscribe if hit the bell and like.